Good after morning. Welcome to twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. My name is Graham Day and I'm joined by Mr. Bib. All right, Bib.
Good after morning, Graham, at 1:20.
It's actually 17 minutes past, so that's 3 minutes
Ooh,
closer to 1,
3
which
minutes
is
early,
3
back to
minutes
the
closer
future.
to 10 a.m. Let's go, baby. Also, very beer fridge on the wave there. Nice. Love to see it. Love to see it. Welcome in. If you're in the stream, please do feel free to let us know. If you don't know who we are, my name is Graham. This is Bib. We are Ice Cream Uploads, and in true Ice Creamy fashion, this is The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast, if we do say so ourselves. We are here to bring you the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories from the world of video games for only the second time this week, and for only the third week in a row where we've brought you just 2 scoops. It's just is what it is. It is. We've had a busy old couple of weeks, and it's going to keep getting busier with a community meetup next weekend. But we'll jump onto that in just a few seconds, and then we will bring you the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories in the world of video games over the next hour or so. We'll then bring you our thoughts and impressions on those stories. But if you are watching live on Twitch, please do feel free to get involved in the chat. We want to hear your thoughts and impressions, and then your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions. That's kind of how the whole thing works. So please do feel free to get involved. And it's important that you do, because we are live on Twitch, but we also turn the live stream into a podcast, a video on YouTube, and an audio podcast on iTunes and Spotify and SoundCloud and Google Play. So there's lots of places where over 130,000 people have watched and listened and downloaded to this podcast. Yes, downloaded this podcast, listen to it on demand, all that jazz. You get what I'm saying? So make sure you get involved on behalf of all of those beautiful people. Before we jump into the show, a couple of things to bring up. PUBG RR. That has almost culminated. The PUBG Royal Rumble event was last weekend. It was exceptional. Shout out to all the players, all of the teams, everyone that competed. We are just about ready to announce who has won all of the bounty prizes. That will be coming next week, because we have an exclamation mark giveaway. Type it in the chat right now. You can bag yourself an A10 headset by getting involved in our social media campaign. Basically, we have 3 clips. One from Nacho, one from Beer Fridge, and one from Lotus, and you have to choose which is your clip of the tournament. As you can see there, thank you very much to Viv, exclamation mark giveaway. We are Astro Partners, and we're giving away a headset on Twitter. So one person that casts a vote and then does the follow and retweet stuff within the tweet will be entered. So not only will the winning clip, i.e. Nacho, Beer Fridge, or Lotus, win a headset, but one other person who does the necessary on social media will win one too. So make sure you get involved in that. As well as that, exclamation mark loot drop. Yesterday you will have seen in the Discord that we gave away one of these. This is an ICU blackout baseball cap. That was the prize for this month's loot drop. It was the first Monday of the month this week, and we gave that away, and it went to Mr. Spidge. Nice. S-Pigeon bagged himself a hat just for being part of the community, which is wonderful. So very much appreciative of everyone that threw subs down this last month. Pidge did win. If you didn't win last month, don't worry. If you are a sub for next month, you will be included in that giveaway too. Speaking of next month, actually before we get to next month, next week, we have the ICU Subathon community meetup. We will have a bunch of the guys from the community in our office. We're going to put on some food, nice barbecue, which will be done by none other than Mr. Barbecue King, Old Westo. He's not that old, I'm just saying, because, you know, it was a thing. He's not. He's just young Westo. Like moderate, nicely aged Westo. Reasonably aged. I don't know what's the. You know what? He's Westo. Nice. He's going to be doing the barbecue next week. We'll have some drinks. We'll have some soft drinks. We'll play some games. We've got a LAN set up, pressing buttons, in the studio too. So if you are coming along to that, it should be a good do. We're hoping to see some people. Nice. Middle-aged Westo. I mean, I suppose it could be that. I was reasonably, suitably aged. There we go. That's the words I want. Not reasonably aged, because that still sounds old. Suitably aged Westo. Yes. Not old Westo, but suitably aged Westo.
That's old Westo.
Vintage, antique. That's not the vibe I was going for, but okay.
You said fossil.
Fossil? Who said fossil? Fossil? You said fossil? Did you? Oh, that's very nice. But yes, West will be barbecue extraordinaire. We'll have some games, some food, some snacks, some drinks, and for those that haven't had their subathon teas and stuff, we'll give you those in person too. So if you're rocking up, you'll get yourself a nice little tea for doing it, a little bit of commemorative stuff. So should be good. If you can't make it, don't worry. We will have the stream running from about noon-ish till 6 p.m-ish whenever we wrap it up. So yeah, if you can't be there in person, you will be able to see myself, Bib, and a number of the people. Anyone that wants to jump on the broadcast, we will drag people in as well. So you'll see all that from 12-ish next Saturday. Nice.
Yeah.
Busy week so far, though, Bib, right?
It hasn't stopped, Graham. Like it feels like the last 2 months leading up to what was the PUBG RR, being able to put that show together, and then later coming off the back of that, and we got the We Meet You community event, and then other things that will be coming after that as well, which we won't go into too much detail yet. Coming off the back of COVID, where obviously we couldn't really do much for 2 years event-wise. Obviously, we still had a lot of other work to be able to do as well, which is why I wasn't streaming all day, every day. But coming out of that COVID era to now events being put back on again, and we can all high five, shake hands, play video games together. It's non-stop, but it's the busy period that I suppose keeps us employed. So yes, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, because like for those that don't know, we let me jump into the split screen actually. Hi, welcome back. For those that don't know, we work in the video games industry. So we are Ice Cream Uploads, but as you can see on the ice cream jersey here, Jelly. We work for Jelly Media, which a number of people know that. We don't hide that at all. So ice cream is like our side gig. When we're not doing our jelly stuff, we jump onto the ice cream, which is nice. Everyone likes jelly and ice cream. But working in the video games industry, there's a reason why you get E3 and the Comic-Cons, and you'll get Gamescom and MCMs and all of that stuff in this period, because it's the mental season in terms of production and output and so on. And with us being marketing, esports events, social media, all of the stuff that's kind of outward, we get busy in these periods. A lot of stuff that you will see us actively doing because we'll be there physically, and a lot of stuff that you won't know that we've done, but we know what we've done because it just appears on social channels or in videos or on influencer streams or whatever. But this is the first time ever that we've done that pre and during lockdown. If you take all of that time frame, this is the first time ever that we've done that, where across that busy period, in June we had the subathon, which obviously took a lot of prep for us to get set for. Might not have looked it, but it did. In July, we had the ICU Royale Rumble, and then in August, we will have the community meetup and Gamescom, which is Europe's biggest expo, to take care of as well. And then we're already less than 4 months until my birthday. So, so yeah, busy old time. So we're usually busy at this point anyway, but this is the first time where we've had back-to-back months of longer form content on Ice Cream Uploads, because it's I don't want to water it down. It's difficult to just even press the live button and go and stream, because you need to find time, you need to know what you're playing, you need to have a little bit of an idea of it. But to do that with a proper longer idea of what you want to get throughout your week on your streams, or if you're building up something else, but doing that culminates in a big ass event that has 64 different people and prizes from multiple sponsors. Like for us, that hasn't finished yet, because we still have to sort out a number of things. We need to get prize monies collected in so that we can distribute that out to winners. And obviously, some people understand that stuff's not instantaneous. We've not just got a wedge of two. I mean, Bibby's got a wedge of £2,000 just sat next to him that he can just dip into, obviously. But we've not got just £2,000 cash that we just take a chunk off and go, there you go, there's a bit for you, there's a bit for you. That's not how it happens. Usually, in esports, you could be waiting 6 months for your prize monies to be distributed. Hopefully, we can get it out to people in a few weeks. As soon as we get it in, we'll just be like, okay, we can pay it right into your PayPal. Bush. But people don't know that. So I wouldn't be surprised if a couple of weeks' time, people are thinking, okay, these blokes dodgy because they had an event and I've won some money and I've still not been paid. Which we'll still have to deal with all of that stuff, which is fine. We don't mind going, look, okay, we'll sort out what we can. So we've already started trying to sort out the GT Maker chairs and the stuff that we can get sent out to people. But yeah, for us, we've got all of that stuff coming, plus the game stuff, plus trying to get the last minute stuff prepped for the community meetup next week, and then we move on to the September hot tub stream, like Viv says in the chat. So
yeah, in between all of that as well, you're obviously going to Gamescom.
Yeah.
So it's like man down kind of thing, but
for a full week that will be Monday till Friday. So I won't be in the office at all, in the studio at all for that entire week then. So it will either be one man scoops. If Bibby gets absolutely swamped because we'll be a man down, then it'll be no scoops, and then it could be a case of 1.5 man scoops if I manage to find somewhere with enough signal in the Kulnessa to actually connect in off my mobile phone. Like, hi babe, yeah, it's just good. Yep. Yeah. Nice.
However, you have just got a brand new sexy laptop, which hopefully has a decent enough webcam that you don't have to take like a Elgato one or a Logitech one or something like that.
Yeah, that is decent enough. I'll just take my AO3s and just have that as my in-ears and use the mic on the AO3s. Obviously, the AO3s aren't like using an Elgato or even using the A40 mic kind of thing. The AO3 is just an inline built-in mic, so it'd be like someone ringing you off a mobile phone kind of thing. But that should be enough for me to just sit there. Or if I can get enough signal, I'll mooch around and show you a couple of the stands. Hi guys, this is it.
That would be amazing. That's something that I actually tried to do when we was at Gamescom last time. I was walking around with, it's back when, and this is obviously going back, Periscope was the thing on Twitter, and I was walking around with the Periscope Live on the ICU account of the Cole Messer. The signal wasn't great. Like, the signal wasn't the best, obviously, because you're in a room of 50,000 people and everyone's draining whatever. I mean, obviously, I wasn't using the Wi-Fi there anyway, because that's just, you're just asking for your phone to be hacked or whatever else if you're not using a VPN. So that wasn't really a priority. But yeah, like it's larger than life if you're not going. So yeah, it would be great if obviously you could be able to do that, but it could be like a smash lasagna.
Yeah. So I will try it. Just to bear in mind that 10 a.m. ish is 11 a.m. ish from the cold messer, which is usually like full on business shit ish. So we might have to try and get some sweet spots where I'm between meetings and stuff, so that we could jump on with the scoop. So I can give you a sort of like ICU world exclusive tour of Gamescom.
Boots on the ground.
Yeah, let's go, baby.
You might even be able to see Burnsy, who hasn't made an appearance on ICU since Breath of the Wild, when he played through that, when he was switching it up with Luke. That's a long time ago, that, isn't it?
3 to 4 years ago, that. Yeah, do you know, let me see. Exclamation mark, Luke, fact. Does that still exist in the chat bot? If you ever visit ICU, Luke does the best car park tours.
Are you going to give people a heads up as to why he gives the best car park?
I'm just going to leave it at that. Just going to leave it as that. No context needed.
Fantastic.
We'll just have the private joke, the in-joke, as it is. Nice. Actually, exclamation mark, Bibby fact. Did you know that Bibby isn't actually called Bibby? He's actually called Lord Bibbington V. There you go.
Correct. Get it fucking right.
Exclamation mark, is Bibby the champ? I thought that's what was still gonna be there. Boo! Exclamation mark, Graham fact. Sorry, I know we're supposed to be here for a podcast, but this is riveting stuff.
Rolling back the years.
Did you know that Graham is made of 90% burger? No, I didn't, but I do now. Thank you very much. Ice cream uploads chat, but that was all put in by Luke, by the way. Who we were just talking about, which is why it came to mind. Luke was the one that set up the initial chatbot for us, so that's got full on Luke humor on it. Let's go, Giroud. Let's go.
Luke.
Anyway, before we take any more of your time, let's start switching the focus to video games news. If you don't know what this is, obviously this is where we talk about video games. I've been through the intro. I've told it you all already. And today's stories are Logitech and Tencent are building a streaming handheld for Xbox Cloud Gaming and GeForce Now. That is written by Jacob Ridley at PC Gamer. So there is a new handheld gaming console coming from Logitech and Tencent. Nice. We'll then jump on and talk about Sony not being happy that Microsoft are buying Activision. We'll talk about Activision's player base falling below 100 million for the first time in a few years. EA says, you know what, actually, single-player games are actually quite important. And then we will wrap things up with your hashtag
Free Game Friday, na 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 na.
Nice. Extra nars today. Look at that. Oosh. Making up for those 3 days that we didn't do in the middle, you got 3 nars, one for each. Actually, I think it was 4 nars. But you know what? Extra? It's fine. It's fine. Also, a couple of shout-outs first. First of all, actually, we'll just do the one shout-out. Shout-out to Jenkins. I think it's at Jenkins 2009, is it? Or 20 on Twitch. All I remember is Jenkins, so I apologize. I don't actually remember his full URL, but I am wearing the Jenkins t-shirt. Jenkins did send me and Bibby a t-shirt. If you're wondering what the face is that I have on, well, that's Jenkins. There you go. Now you know. So I'm not going to give you any more context. If you want to know, go find Jenkins on Twitch. He's an eFootball guy, and he's lovely. He's great. His setup stuff is badass. Do check him out. For now, though, Bib.
Yes.
You're a fan of handheld gaming.
Oh my God, am I?
Well, good news, as Logitech and Tencent are building a streaming handheld for Xbox Cloud Gaming and GeForce Now. This is written by Jacob Ridley at PC Gamer, and the tagline says, the Logitech G gaming handheld is coming later this year. So Logitech G is teaming up with major games investment firm Tencent Games to release a cloud gaming handheld later this year, currently noted as the Logitech G gaming handheld. The device is expected to support NVIDIA GeForce Now and Xbox Cloud Gaming, which should make it a dab hand, nice, at playing PC games on the go, as well as being handy for Games Pass subscribers. And Logitech G and Tencent are working with NVIDIA and Xbox to make this happen. Quotes, the new device will support multiple cloud gaming services, and both companies are working with the Xbox Cloud Gaming and NVIDIA GeForce Now teams, so gamers can play AAA games when they are far away from their console or PC, a blog post says. Though very little has been released yet in regards to the actual device or its specifications, in terms of popular gaming handsets right now, you have the Steam Deck and the Nintendo Switch, but this won't be like either of those. We're talking about a cloud streaming device. That means the onboard CPU and GPU can be a lot less powerful than what's needed for local rendering. I'd guess we're looking at some sort of I assume that's meant to be ARM powered device, or is it ARM powered device? I don't know. Probably with processing power similar to that of a cell phone. Strap that to a screen, battery, and controller like inputs, and you have a portable streaming device that should be ready to accept a game stream beamed from data centers dotted around the globe. Of course, most modern cell phones are already capable of cloud streaming too. That's the thing. Cell phones are already exemplary game streaming devices, and a wide range of controllers to turn them into more fitting gaming controllers are available today, such as the Razer Kishi. Also, the Backbone One, which is PlayStation's device, which was released last week. Was it earlier this week? Can't remember when we last spoke about that one.
It was last week when we covered it, yeah.
And one of the biggest benefits to using the cell phone for game streaming is that most of us already have one. I'm going to go through this bit because this is where we start to get opinion in this. Obviously, we usually like to throw in our own opinions too, but it's nice to kick off with Jacob Ridley's opinion from PC Gamer. So, I do hope Logitech G and Tencent's device has something special about it to make it more than a straight swap for a mobile phone. A bigger screen, a bigger battery, a better control scheme. I'd suspect these features to be the deciding factors in whether you stick with a phone or pick up Log's bespoke cloud gaming device. Either way...
Happy I thought it was Saturday, but it's only Friday.
Danny, you are. In the chat says, happy I thought it was Saturday, but it's only Friday. Oh, no. Do you know what? That means that you've got an extra day in your weekend, though, because if you thought it was Saturday... therefore, you pretty much live in the Saturday already. And then good news, tomorrow's Saturday, so even better. Let's go. Unless you've still got a full day of Friday ahead of you, then that sucks a little bit. So yeah, I get it. Okay, we can finish this article there. We don't need to go through. Thank you very much, Jacob Ridley at PC Gamer. So Logitech and Tencent have teamed up to bring us their own Razer Kishi alike, their own Backbone One alike device. The Logitech G gaming console is what it's loosely referred to right now, and it won't require a smartphone to be plugged into the middle of it. It will just be a Nintendo Switch of sorts, a Steam Deck of sorts, but you play kind of like Stadia games through the cloud without anything installed locally. Bib, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, this obviously, it's mentioned it in the article. It's something we talk about all the time. This is nothing new. It's just, I don't think it's been perfected yet. Do I think that Logitech and Tencent are going to come together and create something that excels beyond what xCloud is able to do, beyond what Google Stadia has been able to do, and what the Steam Deck is able to do? I don't see why not. I don't think they will, personally. I feel like they are coming out the gate last. Doesn't mean to say that they don't have the experience on making things work. I imagine that the controller is going to be a fantastic bit of kit. I imagine, well, the controller screen, all the peripherals that come along inside it. I imagine all of that is going to be fantastic. I reckon it's going to be quite a weighty console. I hope it's ergonomic. I mean, I don't want another console that has circle edges like this again, because that was a bleeding nightmare. Like, it just doesn't. It's not very comfortable. It should feel like it's comfortable in your hand, but it just genuinely wasn't. I had to buy. I don't know if anybody else who had a Vita, the other three people who had a PS Vita. But it's something that you put your controller in. It's like a grip, so that you can have a bit more purchase on your hands. So it wasn't as intense or hand crampy as just holding that is. Same with the Nintendo Switch and their Joy-Cons. I don't believe the Joy-Cons work for very small hands or for short periods of time. Anything above that, you're either getting a clip that goes around your Pro controller, or you're buying a grip that the console goes inside of, so then you have your hands underneath and you're holding it more substantially. Like the Hori split controllers are fantastic. They are an absolute must if you play your Nintendo Switch for more than 25 minutes or you have massive hands like I do. It feels like a controller, so you have the grips at the back, so you have room to be able to put your fingers underneath so that you're not holding it in a really weird state. Like, those are the things that I'm looking for now when it comes to handheld gaming. I want to back it. I want to be able to say that this is going to be a massive piece of our future. I think, though, if it's not comfortable, for me, it's not something that can be sustained for a longer period of time, then it's not something that I'll be... having the Nintendo Switch and having the Hori split controllers, or what the Steam Deck is like at this moment in time, that is the base for what I want in future handheld gaming.
Yeah.
If you can't achieve that, or you're not anywhere close to that, I'm sorry, it's not something that I personally will be looking at.
I mean, it's interesting for me because, like, obviously, Bibby's just held up the PS Vita, and they've clearly looked how your hand goes when you're grasping something. You kind of get a C sort of shape in the general shape of your hands. So they've gone, okay, we'll make a sort of C-shaped edge on the Vita, but then we'll have a little lip at the top and the bottom, which is the bit that's kind of like a I don't know, a little bar sort of edge on it. So it almost has a nubbin like that. And you're like, okay, well, that looks like it follows the shape of a hand. And it does, if you were just holding it like that. But when you're holding it to play, you change your hand shape into that weird sort of claw that we have, which is why the protruding nubbins on the bottom of the Xbox controller that Bibby just had that you grab hold of, or the bit on the bottom of a DS4 or a DualSense 5 controller, well, DualSense controller, whatever, they all have the bits that point down now so that you can grab hold of, because that's better ergonomically. It doesn't hurt your hands as much. I updated it, by the way, so it did say Friday, but I changed it a few minutes ago, so it should be fine now. It did say Tuesday. It now says Friday. Yeah, there we go.
Got the date right, wrong day.
So yeah, I mean, form factor, if they can nail that, that'd be good. My thing is, I'll bring my question back that I always bring when we talk about NFTs. But why? And this is the thing for me is, okay, if we're gonna get GeForce Now on it and Xbox Game Pass, that's pretty cool. But Microsoft have already brought Xbox Game Pass to your PC, to your smartphone, to your TV. You've already got multiple places, so you can play it in your main gaming setup, you can play it in your alternate living room on your TV, and if you're not at home, you can play it on your phone. So do I really need this to play Game Pass? Not so much. Put GeForce Now in there. Okay, that's another way of accessing GeForce Now, but I think that one actually is available through browsers on mobile devices as well, or they were trying to make it more accessible. Okay, well, if I wanted to access it through a mobile device, I can do that through my phone. And stick a Razer Kishi in it, or a Backbone. A Razer Kishi is about 80 quid. A Backbone's about 100 quid. If I want even better than that, you can get Xbox Game Pass on a Steam Deck. It's not native. There is no app. You have to do some sort of like going through a browser sort of thing. But you can do it. And it works very well. So obviously the same thing with any form of streaming stuff is some of your FPSs might be a little bit framey or stuttery or whatever. That's the same thing with anything. If I play a remote play on my smartphone now, I will have the same thing. Any sort of remote connection stuff. There's probably limitations. So playing certain games, we've had conversations in the past. A Football Manager or something like that would be perfect. Or games that aren't required to hit timed button responses. Fine, great. So why do I need a Logitech and Tencent device? This is where it comes down to it for me. They are making something that like is needed, but not for many people. Not a lot of people will play their games on their go. A lot of people do. Let me rephrase that. Mobile gaming is massive, but not a lot of people play console games on their mobiles on the go. And that's the difference here is we are having console, or the way they phrased it, AAA games hitting portable screens. And not a lot of people enjoy those games on those screens because that AAA experience is you fought a 50-inch screen, 4K, 8K, like ray tracing, HDR, all of those bits to whatever level, maybe some high refresh rates and so on. So, like, yeah, is there a need for this device? I mean, for me, I get where they're coming from. Like Bibby's talking about, having a perfect form factor does not exist. The Razer Kishi is good. A lot of people would recommend it, but it's not perfect. You know, you have to take off your smartphone case to stick your phone into it because, like, there's my phone. It's in a case. If I was to stick that in a Razer Kishi, I wouldn't be able to do that, I imagine. I've not actually used the Razer Kishi on that phone. But I imagine I'll have to pop it out the case, stick it in there. Or if I'm using a Steam Deck, that's not £100 item. That's, how much is it? 5, 6, 7, 800 quid? I don't know. I can't remember. Hundreds.
Yeah. I think the cheapest one was like 350.
Oh, is that what it is? So, I mean, Steam Deck is class, by the way. Not saying it's not worth that money, but looking at your audiences, you've got a 100 quid Snap-on device, and then you've got console cost level devices. Where does this sit? Is this, if this is just for mobile stuff, but has screens and stuff built in, it's going to be more expensive than a Kishi or a Backbone One, which means what, we're looking at 200 quid? 250? And if you're already spending 250 quid for a device that doesn't have any processors and stuff on board, it just, like Stadia, connects to something online, are you not just worth spending an extra 100 quid and getting the Steam Deck? So that's well, I just don't know. I don't know where it sits in the market. It's hard to make a completely different market. And Nintendo did that with the Switch, but they rode on home entertainment and portable entertainment. It does a bit of both and eventually created its own niche. This doesn't do both. This just does portable entertainment. So, yeah, what are your thoughts, Bib?
Well, there's a couple of things there as well. The way that the Nintendo revolutionized how we play video games with the hybrid system that was a Nintendo Switch, they already have people by the short and curlies anyway, because where else can you play the likes of Legend of Zelda? Where else can you play the likes of Pokemon? Do you know what I mean? Like, if you want to play those games, you have to buy the latest Nintendo system.
Well, on my PC, by the way. Let me just tell you a little thing about. Oh, right, actually, no.
Don't say anything like that. But what's just come to mind, Graham, and I don't think we've ever talked about this. But it's just something's just clicked into my brain. If, for instance, this new device that's going to be come out, we're looking at a Steam Deck for £350, which I think was the lowest version of it. It didn't. Don't quote me on this. This is just something that I'm trying to go through my brain. But there was 3 different versions. The cheapest being £350, and I think the dearest was about £700. The numbers are irrelevant to what I'm about to say anyway. But if the cheapest is £350. But you can play Xbox Game Pass and have those games downloaded to something as cheap as a Chromebook. Would you rather have the Chromebook using a Xbox controller and then being able to play those games using a bigger screen, a lot more comfortable? You've been able to use a controller that you know inside out and you know is comfortable for your hands. Granted, the Chromebook doesn't contain the world's biggest CPU, doesn't contain the world's biggest hard drive, it doesn't contain the fastest SSDs. You probably can buy ones that are a little bit more expensive, probably around the same price as the cheapest Steam Deck or a Nintendo Switch. But if you know that you're going to be playing Xbox Game Pass games either over the cloud or you're downloading them like you can on your PC through the app, is that a better viable option for you? I'm talking to you. I know the people in the chat as well. Then they can obviously answer this as well. But for you, is that a better viable option than having something like a Nintendo Switch or a Steam Deck?
No, but I will tell you why in just a second. After I've just said, Ash, thank you very much for the raid, dude. Appreciate you dropping that. I was in Jumbo Ash's stream this morning. Fun fact about Jumbo Ash: he's actually from Nottingham. He's not really a United fan. There you go.
Like Goldbridge.
Yeah, that's what that was going for. He was talking about Goldbridge this morning in his chat. So someone was like, do you know, like being really nice and supportive actually, which is good to see. Like, Ash, do you know what? You're really sound dude. Seeing just the way that you interact with the chat and with your kids and stuff like that, it's good to see. I was like, now I've met him in real life. Nah, he's not like that at all. He's actually from Nottingham. Nah, Ash is a good egg. We like Ash.
He is a legend.
It's Arnie as well. Welcoming, dude. 2% on my Steam Deck. What's 2%? What?
Battery?
storage used.
Yeah.
It seems like a niche market one, but one they have largely created. What is a Steam Deck? Steam Deck is basically a Switch, but made by Steam. So it's basically a mini PC, so you can play your Steam games on the go. So that is the question: is would I want a 350 quid Steam Deck, or would I want a 350 quid Chromebook? Effectively, for me, and this is where I will answer it specifically for me. I would want the Steam Deck because I already have a PC. And I already have a laptop because I work on the laptop.
Yes.
So for me, the Chromebook is like, oh, that's just another laptop device. If I want something that is made specifically for gaming, that I will use specifically for gaming, then I would. I mean, this bad boy. I mean, it's not in here. It's just a box of it. I've got Lenovo Legion. It's fucking good. It's badass. Why would I have that and not use that fucking beast of a machine versus a Chromebook? I've had I actually haven't had Chromebooks in the past. Chloe's had a Chromebook in the past that we spent about that sort of money for, and it chugged. After about 5 minutes, it was slow without installing anything really on it. It was pretty much just a YouTube device, effectively. And yeah, I would.
It's an Android tablet with a keyboard,
effectively, but the screen wasn't particularly great, and the keyboard wasn't particularly great either. So for that, I would be like, okay, yeah, give me the Steam Deck, because I know Steam Deck. I've not used it. I don't know it inside out because I know I'm not getting one yet, so I've not bothered to do all of my research on it yet. But I know you can hook it up to TVs and stuff like that anyway. So if I wanted that sort of experience, I can do that, and I believe you can attach your Bluetooth peripherals and stuff to it. Correct me if I'm wrong. So mouse and keyboard in it that way anyway. So for me, I'd be like, okay, well, I would go that way. If I wanted it for portable gaming, I know it's not M&K that you could, in theory, do with a Chromebook, but it's made for portable gaming. So I would go for that angle. If I then had to choose between a 350 quid Steam Deck, a 100 quid Backbone or Razer Kishi, or a 200 to 250-ish Logitech G cloud gaming console thing, I would go top or bottom. Middle, like often you go good, better, best. And I don't feel like this is better in the middle. I feel like the good option is your bargain option. Your best option is your Steam Deck. And then your middle option is like, it's almost like jack of all trades, master of none, rather than the strong middle ground. It's not cheap and it's not top tier either. It's like, it's neither. So for me, without knowing where they're going for this, without knowing what its USP is, the USP is that it gives you GeForce Now and cloud gaming on the go, which isn't a USP. So until I know more, it's a cool idea. I hope that they can bring me something here. But I'm a fan of Logitech G's tech. Their hardware is good for me. I just don't see the reason for this. So yeah, I'll wait and see.
I need to get hold of a Google Chromebook. Like, I need to see what the specs are of them. So I'm just having a look at them now, and it seems to be a lot of 4 gigabyte, 4 gigabyte of RAM, 32 gigabyte or 64 gigabyte of internal memory. Like, I need to see what that is capable of doing while using the likes of Xbox Game Pass. I know it's obviously coming through the cloud, so you don't have to download them. But like using the Xbox Game Pass app, you can download the games. I have the likes of Football Manager downloaded, ready for me to be able to go at a moment's notice whenever I needed to. But I need to see what these kind of perform like myself. I'm sure Linus has probably done these kind of tests anyway, so it might be something that I just look at his from. But the cheapest being £150, and Argos selling the Davis Chromebook at £900. There's a lot of in between there, so I need to see I need to see what they're capable of.
Just to add to that as well, Itani just mentioned in the chat, you will need to know what your Steam Deck is capable of as well, is because if you get the 350 Steam Deck, you need an SD card as it's only 64 gig space. So technically, it isn't only 350, which is the key thing, because you want to play a lot of PC games, you need a lot more than 64 gig. So
the operating system is probably 15 of that.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm happy to see portable gaming getting some attention. I love the idea of being able to play, particularly AAA games on the go. I am a snob of a gamer, and I'm happy to admit it, because I don't particularly like jumping into lower quality experiences some of them are really good and you forget and you get that immersion and that's what you want. But a lot of the time when I'm playing old games or ported to mobile or Switch games, I realise, oh, this I've seen this before at really good spec, and now I've got jaggedy edges and it's really stuttery or whatever, and I lose my immersion in it. I'll go, do you know what? I'll not bother. I'll play it on my PC a bit later on, and then never do.
Yeah.
But like, if I can get something that gives me that AAA experience where I'm not playing crap football games on my phone, but playing a decent football simulation on the go, or a good shooter that's not really scaled down to look like I'm just running along on a plasticine landscape kind of thing, then that is mobile that I want to get into. That is portable gaming for me. And if that becomes a reality through a Steam Deck or through a Razer Kishi or a Backbone One or the Logitech G handheld gaming device, I'm not bothered as long as one of them does it exceptionally well. The fact that we do have multiple factors, they won't all survive. That's the clear and cut. Is if you're not sure which one to invest in and you don't have a lot of disposable income, well, you're probably better off either not investing or going for something like a Steam Deck, even though it will be expensive, because that, I feel, is a shoe-in to survive. The Kishi and the Backbone are more likely to be like the Logitech one, something that's a little bit of a niche that doesn't turn into something major, but the thing with a Kishi and a Backbone is half the price, potentially. I want to caveat, we guessed at 200 because we put it in the middle. We don't know how much the Logitech price could be. Could be good, could help push the portable gaming sector forward, but is there a place for it? For me, there's not a lot of people that will just want a device that can just give them cloud gaming on the go. The thing with the Switch is you can still stick some stuff in it and go. The thing with the Razer Kishi and that is you've still got your mobile phone, which you already had anyway, so you can take that and do other stuff on the go. The thing with the Steam Deck is it's a powerful device that gives you multiple different options and stuff. That is one specific thing, the Logitech device. So that is a very, very small number of people that it speaks to. Is that enough to turn over the profit that they want? And that, I mean, Logitech is a massive company that doesn't make stupid decisions. Well, not all the time. Just every company can make a stupid decision. But Tencent also like to throw their money at projects that they want to brute force into existence. So, you know, it could be a thing. We'll see. We'll keep you updated. For now, though, we will jump into the Microsoft Activision purchase, the takeover. So Microsoft is about, Microsoft, I wouldn't say Xbox, but Microsoft, that's the one. Microsoft are buying Activision. So Xbox will get Call of Duty. It's ours. We're going to keep it. And Sony is proper happy with that. It's not
Obviously.
happy with that. It's not happy with that. As Tom Phillips at Eurogamer has the next story, Sony doesn't sound thrilled that Microsoft is buying Call of Duty maker Activision. It argues that COD development cannot be rivaled and influences a user's choice of console, both of which I agree with. So a Brazilian government filing has given us a rare glimpse into Sony's thoughts on the impending 69
Nice.
There we go. $1 billion Microsoft buyout of Activision Blizzard. And specifically the fact that Xbox will soon own blockbuster first-person shooter franchise Call of Duty. In Brazil, companies with the same sphere of any such corporate transaction are asked for their thoughts on deals of this magnitude. And intriguingly for us, Brazil also posts all of these details online, albeit in some cases with redacted passages. Sony's response is largely public and contains a number of arguments which paint the potential of Xbox owning Call of Duty in a problematic light, as spotted by Reset Era and translated for us by Eurogamer Portugal. To begin with, Sony argues that Call of Duty is a franchise with no rival, something even EA's Battlefield might privately agree with. Entries into the Call of Duty franchise, quote, tend to be long-running franchises with big budgets, multi-year development cycles, and fanatical followings, Sony wrote. Quote, and despite large budgets and resources, no other developer has managed to create a franchise to rival Activision's Call of Duty, which stands out as a gaming category in its own right, end quote. Sony describes Call of Duty as an essential game, a blockbuster, a AAA game, a AAA-like game that has no rival, and quotes a 2019 study that found Call of Duty to be the only video game property that has broken into the top 10 most lucrative entertainment franchises globally, alongside powerhouses like Star Wars, Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, and Lord of the Rings. More intriguingly, Sony suggests that Call of Duty, quote, is so popular that it influences users' choice of console, and its network of loyal users is so ingrained that even if a competitor had the budget to develop a similar product, it wouldn't be able to rival it, end quote. We'll stop there. You can get the idea. We don't need to go through any more examples to say that Call of Duty is actually a pretty big thing. Despite the article that we covered the other day when Xbox was like, no, Activision isn't remarkable at all. No, there's nothing special
unique about
it.
Call of Duty.
Yeah. So Sony differs. Sony says, when asked, this isn't Sony making an outward statement, by the way. This isn't Sony chasing this down. This is, as it mentioned in the article, something that happens in Brazil. Brazil's, let's use due diligence. I don't know if that's the right phrase, but we'll go with it. Brazil's business setup is to provide due diligence for any sort of big mergers like this by asking the other people that it might have an impact on to share their statements. So Sony has said that they think that that Activision's games, Call of Duty, is a big impact. It can not only influence users' choice of console, but it's pushed it into one of the top 10 brands of any entertainment IP, video game, films, movies, music, whatever, worldwide. So it's a big deal, and it will have impacts. What are your thoughts, Bib?
Yeah, it's hard not to agree with them, but there's always caveats in there too. So PlayStation have had exclusives with Call of Duty for quite a while, haven't they? So like they've had map exclusives. They've obviously been used in the COD World Championships, like as the preferred destination of choice. If you want to qualify, then your best chance is through PlayStation. I believe that is the case. But I'm fairly certain. In fact, I'm 95% certain that at World Championships, PlayStations are used as the preferred console rather than Xbox. So if you qualified an Xbox, you still have to move over to a PlayStation one. So it's not as if they haven't had these partnerships in place to manipulate the community to potentially be focused on just PlayStation. I understand this is something that's different, maybe not entirely, but to a large degree, this will influence the market because it will become something that goes underneath the Microsoft brand. I understand that does have an element of danger to it because of how big it is, but is that Microsoft's problem? I don't personally think it is. They've gone, do you know what? If they're up for sale, we're going to buy it. That's basically like United last year buying Ronaldo. It's still one of the hottest players in world football, can get you 20 goals a season, no problem, even if he is in a struggling side. But without Ronaldo, they would have been much, much further down the league. So they've put all of their eggs in that basket and gone, do you know what? We need that over here. It wasn't worth that much as a player, but commercially is worth a lot. Is that not the same with this? Like, Call of Duty are commercially one of the biggest companies, medias in the world. They might not have been worth that much because Microsoft's been able to afford it and there was on the market for being bought. Microsoft going, do you know what? Yes, okay, then PlayStation potentially could have matched that bid or improved it, but they didn't. And now it just comes across as a little bit of sour grapes.
Yeah, I agree with the sentiment of PlayStation. COD's development cannot be rivaled. Numerous other brands have tried and failed effectively. Battlefield is not the same as Call of Duty. I mean, that's kind of
not even close.
That's kind of an EA problem, that, to be fair. But it is true though. Like, Call of Duty is an absolute machine. We have 3-4 different developers working on it. Infinity Ward, Raven, Sledgehammer, Treyarch. 4 different studios. There could be another 12 for all I know. I don't keep up to date with all of the Call of Duty news anymore. Used to be a big Call of Duty player, not so much anymore. I do keep my eye on it and all that jazz. But so that's at least 4 studios, 4 different developers working on Call of Duty. If not at any one time, and either some have been cycled in or cycled out completely, but they do it on a 3-yearly cycle at least. I don't know if Raven and Sledgehammer co-op or if Raven just provides support or Sledgehammer I'm not sure how it works, but multiple developers. That's hundreds, if not thousands of employees working along just Call of Duty at any one point in time. That's just development. That's studios. That's not including the Activision side of things, where you will have your digital marketing and your PR and your events and your promotion, which will have staff in the UK and in Germany and Italy and Spain and every other country that Call of Duty ever releases in. That is bigger than any other game, pretty much, period, by far. So Sony isn't thrilled that Microsoft is buying that. Obviously, I think that kind of goes without that saying. Sony have said, yeah, Call of Duty's development cannot be rivaled, and I think that is safe to say. Yeah, it can't be. Nobody else can make a game like that because Call of Duty have gone from we had some stats when we were talking about. What's it called? The ass hat at the top. For some reason, I've got Colin Kaepernick in my head, but it's clearly not him because he took a knee. It's whatever. The guy at the Activision that's ruffled all the feathers.
Why is his name just gone out of my head?
It's stuck there. I've got Stanley Kubrick now in my head. My name's just going. Anything that ends in ick, we'll go with that one. It probably doesn't even end in ick.
Bobby Kotick.
It does end in ick. There we go. Bobby Kotick. There we go. Nice. Okay, Bobby Kotick, the asshat from Call of Duty. But there was an article that showed his success. The reason he's been so hard to get rid of is he took the company from like a 20 million company to a whatever billion company in 20 years. That hasn't happened for anyone else because it's almost impossible to do. Call of Duty had a meteoric rise and then kept it going for the most part. Yeah, it did have some peaks and troughs. Yeah, it probably has dropped off. And yeah, we did get the Infinite Warfare, like most downvoted video of all time sort of shenanigans on the way to getting to where we are. But then they capitalized with BR success on the war zones and stuff like that. They have done something that will take 20 years for anyone else to do. Unless you get a Call of Duty, not Call of Duty, a Fortnite, and that'll happen in 5 years. Epic will just be the perfect storm. They'll have the perfect game at the perfect time, and they'll have all of their resources after just making engines and having all sorts of success there. Boom! There we go. Nice. Very rarely does that happen. So it is very unlikely that something like Call of Duty could come along and fight into that market. I agree with Sony. But so it was there to be bought. It's not. It is still an FPS. Sony are arguing that there is nothing like Call of Duty that can contend with Call of Duty, and I kind of agree. Okay, what other FPSs have we got? Medal of Honor, Battlefields, your Ghost Recons. None of them are as successful as Call of Duty, even halfway as successful as Call of Duty. You get into different genres, like obviously your Tarkovs and your PUBGs and things like that. Not the same game. So yes, there isn't anything like for like. Sony could work on its own game. Has Resistance ever been close to Call of Duty? It was good, but it was no Call of Duty. So Sony realizes that if Microsoft buys Activision, Call of Duty, which is one of the top 10 entertainment IPs, and it might even be in the top 3, if not the top 1 grossing video games series over the last 10, 20 years. It's either going to be something like a FIFA or a Call of Duty. It probably is a Call of Duty game, to be fair, across multiple platforms, across multiple markets worldwide. I think Call of Duty is probably the #1 selling game. It definitely was last year, anyway. It was 1 and 2, wasn't it, in the global sales last year? Call of Duty Vanguard and Black Ops. So, yes, I understand why Sony aren't thrilled at this, but it was there to be purchased. It is not like anything else, but it isn't necessarily a monopoly on anything. You are getting a monopoly on a very, very profitable IP, but that is why it costs $69 billion, not 11. So
everything's got a price.
So yeah, I say this coming from a perspective of someone that primarily plays on PlayStation. I do have an Xbox One S downstairs that I don't really use, so I do primarily play on PlayStation, but I can't see a problem with this. Xbox have coughed up cash and were proactive in starting those conversations when they realised there was an opportunity to take over Activision. PlayStation, if they were bothered, should have probably jumped in. But that is where we get back to the situation where we have PlayStation is bigger than Xbox. There is no argument. Anyone that wants to argue with that, okay, well, you just could take yourself outside because nobody wants that conversation here. It's fact. PlayStation is bigger than Xbox. But Microsoft is astronomically bigger than Sony. And that is where Sony are probably going, okay, we don't like Microsoft flexing their muscles. And it's like, yeah, I understand because he's the bigger dog. Nobody wants to be beat by a bigger dog where there is no fight. And that's kind of what they're saying. I get it, but if and I suspect it will do, I don't know enough about competition law to say either way, but I suspect this is going to go through without problem. And it's just going to be a conversation that we had a few months ago. That's my take. Ash, remember Mag? That had potential. It did. And SOCOM, which was huge back in the day. SOCOM, wow, that is a blast from the past. one of the first ones to have like network play, wasn't it, SOCOM? If not the
Yeah,
first, I can't remember. It might not be the first. I might be
it's
adding
so
that.
good. You got to have your little headset, plug it in USB at the front, and be able to communicate with the rest of your team. It was so good,
I
man.
know, absolute mental. Back in the day, I remember like buying the PlayStation Bluetooth headset, the little thing that you clip over your ear, so you look like one of those knobheads that used to drive up and down the motor in his Beamer with his
Mike's still
hands-free
got
kit.
one in the office, you know.
I remember buying that, thinking this is going to be fucking amazing. And then it wasn't, because you were still listening to your game through your TV. You just had one mate on some really tinny, crappy audio thing in one ear. It's like, great, great. This is great. This is the future. So now, first internet game I played on my 56K modem is Nightfire. I don't even know what Nightfire is. But was that the first like remote play? I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I seem to remember seeing something about SOCOM. It might not have been the first PlayStation game. 007 was that? Oh, I'm talking PlayStation. Like PlayStation
Yeah,
used to have that like infinity symbol, like comes with remote
yeah.
play that used to get across the
Net
top
play.
of net play. Is that what they called it? Yeah, net play, not
Yeah,
remote
yeah.
play. SOCOM might not have been the first game that had net play, but there was definitely a conversation in there. Maybe it was the first party game or something. I remember reading something on one of the magazines about 1,000,000 years ago about SOCOM, and that's kind of what pushed me into buying it, even though I didn't have net opportunities back then. I lived in Huddersfield. We barely had
Mm.
nets, let alone the net. Microsoft own all the farmland. What, in Huddersfield? So yeah, there you go. Sony doesn't sound thrilled that Microsoft is trying to buy Call of Duty maker Activision, and that's understandable, because you wouldn't be happy if your competitors are doing something that are massively going to change the game. No pun intended. But let's look on a flip side of that. We'll have to pick up the pace as we jump through the articles. We are now over an hour of being live. It's about 50 minutes of the show. Activision. The Activision player count has fallen below 100 million for the first time since 2019. So maybe it's not that bad after all. Sony, it's only 99.9 million players. Yeah, it's fine. Tom Ivan at VGC has this article that says Call of Duty's engagement declined during the publisher's second quarter. So Activision's monthly active users, MAUs, have dropped below 100 million for the first time in almost 3 years. I'm going to skip forward because it's just repeating the same stuff over and over again. Its MAUs had been above 100 million since the fourth quarter of 2019, which saw the release of Call of Duty Mobile, and peaked at 150 million during the first quarter of 2021. Activision said on Monday that its second quarter revenue and operating income declined year over year, reflecting lower engagement for the Call of Duty franchise, but grew versus the first quarter. Engagement can be expected to rise during the company's fourth quarter, when it plans to release 2 new Call of Duty games. Activision has confirmed Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 has a release date of October 28th, 2022, and Call of Duty Warzone 2.0 will launch as an extension of the Modern Warfare universe later this year. Quote, Activision's expanded studios also continue to make strong progress on innovative mobile experience that will extend Warzone to the largest and fastest growing platform, the company said on Monday. Across the Call of Duty ecosystem, the teams are well positioned to support these launches with substantial live operations while continuing development of new premium content planned for 2023 and beyond. We'll stop there. So, Xbox is buying Activision because it doesn't have anything unique to offer, and apparently it's shit. Properly, like people are leaving it. It's below 100 million players. How weak is that? Yeah. Now it's the first time since 2019 that 100 million players or less have been the active player base for Activision titles. What are your thoughts, babe?
Do you know what? I in my current circle, and what are the people who I follow on Twitter and all the other stuff that comes into your timeline that you aren't particularly followers of, but you do end up seeing because follow people you do follow ends up liking or reposting or whatever else. I don't see a noise about Call of Duty as much as I used to, despite regardless of what we've just said about the last news article that we covered. I don't see that many people who I follow on Twitch playing it. I don't see when I load up my friends on my dashboard of whatever console it is that I'm playing. I don't see many people playing it. It just doesn't seem to be something that's in the ether at the moment, and I don't know why. And that includes Warzone too. Warzone is massive. But it just seems people in my current friendship group aren't playing it. They're not talking about it.
Yeah, I see that. I agree, and I feel that is probably the reason why. But I feel I know why that is. Call of Duty had 100 million players for the last 3 years. in that time, we've had a massive pandemic that has made people stay in and play games. So that was nice. Great. It wasn't nice. It was shit. But for gaming industries, it was spectacular because people were captive and video games thrived throughout that point. So we're seeing a massive drop off. I don't think that's just bespoke to Call of Duty. We've seen all sorts of hardware and software sales dropping as a result of that because people are not only able to go back out, but people can actually go on holidays and go, rather than spending 70 quid on a new game, you can buy a ticket to a football game or whatever. Instead, people are putting the money elsewhere. That makes sense. Great. But also, in that time, Call of Duty had Modern Warfare and Warzone launching. Then we got the first evolutions of Warzone's maps. But it's kind of a bit stagnant now because we've gone from Modern Warfare to Black Ops to Vanguard-y sort of stuff. Then you factor in Modern Warfare is a massive series and has been for 20 years. Well, 15 years. Black Ops, almost as long. Vanguard, not so much. It's not the same property. It's like, yes, Call of Duty is a series that people will buy into, but if you get sub-series of that, it's like Star Trek. Some people might go, yeah, I'm a big fan of The Next Generation. Oh, yeah, I'm a big fan of Deep Space Nine or whatever. But then when they go, Star Trek, spaceships, people are like, oh, I don't know what that one is. So less people will be interested by as a result of that until it has its legacy. The thing is, as well, is Vanguard not only is a new IP within the Call of Duty universe, it was a tired IP for a lot of people, myself included. It was a good game, I thought, but I'm not bothered about iron sight, bolt action rifles. I want my Kar 98 to have an 8x scope in it, and I can see dudes in the distance, and I want laser pointers and all that sort of stuff. So it's kind of like we're talking about lightning in a bottle. What's the opposite? Like shit in a can? Like, so in 2019, they had lightning in a bottle. They had Warzone. They had Battle Royale being this new, exciting, fresh thing. They had the impending pandemic forcing people into their arms where they can experience new things. And now all of that is being undone. So lightning in a bottle has changed into shit in a can. Do I expect this to maintain? No, I think it's going to go back over 100 million. When you get Modern Warfare coming out and you get Warzone 2.0, let's not forget, Blackout was a bit crap. Warzone was a lot better. You put what Call of Duty have done in Warzone versus Blackout, like you put that anywhere, that is a phenomenal growth. And now all of that learning, putting it into Warzone 2.0, like I don't feel like when they launched Warzone, they clearly thought, we need to make this better than Blackout. We need content, we need missions, we need bounties, we need all sorts of other stuff. Yeah, let's go, baby. Season passes. And then all of a sudden, they looked at the opposition, Fortnite, and they were like, we need to evolve this map. We need to kill it and come back with a new chapter and this sort of stuff. They were like, oh, fuck, we didn't think of that. So this, Warzone 2.0, is going to be like Warzone, but bigger and better, more thought out with an idea of the multiverse, whatever, that sort of stuff. We're going to have the metaverse. We'll have all sorts of brand crossovers. I mean, we've got Terminator in the game right now. All of that stuff, I think, will be factored in. So they will have much bigger, much more organized content beats that will touch into popular culture, music, films, TV, sports. You'll start to, I mean, we're getting Neymar in PUBG. But they'll be fucking... I would be surprised if we don't see the likes of the LeBrons of the world or whatever just dropping in every other week in Warzone like we have seen with Fortnite. So it's dropped below 100 million. I think the future is going to be bigger. So I don't have any personal issues with that. PlayStation, sadly, probably will.
Yeah. It's inevitable.
I remember the good old days on the internet in Huddersfield, borrowing Graham's PSP so I could go wall driving and find an unprotected access point at the end of the road. I had internet for 3 years for free. He did, yes. I remember someone I used to work with who bought a military-grade, not a router, a military-grade Wi-Fi scanner, effectively, so he could scan for hundreds of meters and just find internet. So he was like, I could spend 30 quid a month every month on Sky or NTL or Virgin or whoever it was back then doing his internet. He says, I could spend that, or I could spend 100 quid on my military, like, decommissioned Wi-Fi scanner and just use everyone else's. And after 3 months, I'm in profit. I was like, I appreciate the grind there.
Yeah.
Should we blame you for all that chalk on the side of the buildings telling us where the Wi-Fi points are? Yes. I hate that about Twitter because you follow this person. Here's some stuff you might like, or more likely won't. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's good. I like to see. I don't mind the stuff like if I follow Bib and Bib likes something that I don't like. I don't mind it showing me that stuff every now and then. But that's when you're getting into the newsfeed versus timeline mentality. Is a newsfeed is this is all the stuff that we've curated that we think is good for you, which is 100% influenced by the people that are spending money on advertising. And that's Facebook used to be great. The reason Facebook has so many subscribed users and is the most engaged platform for video gaming is purely brute force numbers. But it's shit. It's proper shit. If we write a post for ourselves, for one of our games industry clients, and put it out the exact same without any monetization behind it to boost it, and we put it out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all the rest, Facebook will be the lowest for it to hit. Instagram can be really high, providing you obviously make content specifically for that algorithm, your Instagram Reels and so on, but a text-based image post will be quite shit in comparison. Twitter and stuff is still pretty good, but that's the reason why they keep showing you more of the suggested stuff, because they want to get into that newsfeed. That's the reason why they keep trying to brute force that shit through as well. Do you want to see the latest tweets, or do you want to see the best that have been curated for you? I want to see the latest tweets because I want a fucking timeline. Show me what Bibby has just tweeted, not what Steve from down the road tweeted 3 weeks ago because someone else that I know fucking liked it or whatever. Nope. Nope. So anyway, Usa back in the room. I wasn't stupid enough to let anyone know. I also locked it down to MAC addresses only, so besides whoever it belonged to, only I could get on. Even I even optimized so we all got almost equal shares, so they never had to drop out or too big. Like, oh, there you go. He's a considerate thief. It's Robin Hood. I'm a symbiote, not a parasite. USB Wi-Fi stick in Pringles can use to work. Really? What? Walking through a dream. I see you, my light in darkness. This is a song I can't figure out the tune to. I see you, my light in darkness, breathing hope of a new life. Now I live through you, and you through me. Enchanting, I pray in my heart that the stream never ends. I love you too, Drew. You're lovely.
Legend.
You're lovely. Facebook is poop. PC Wi-Fi was better, more power for the transceiver because of the PCI power standard. Oh, there you go, nerd stuff. Nice. Okay, Activision's player count has dropped. Probably not anything to be mega worried about for me. Then we have.
Should we just do Free Game Friday?
Yeah.
We're rapidly running out of time.
We have two stories that aren't time sensitive, so we could jump into those. So next week we'll move these to Monday, unless something else that's more important drops in, and that is the fact that Microsoft is freeing up its Xbox Series S memory to improve graphical performance. So if you've got an Xbox Series S and you want more graphical oomph, well, don't worry, Microsoft's working on that. And EA, despite a tweet which was meant to be banter, but was really badly reading the room a few weeks ago, saying that there are 10, but they only like single-player games. Well, Microsoft has tweeted saying they are a really important part of its portfolio, apparently. I mean, imagine that when they're just about to release Jedi Fallen Order, Survivor Wars, Stargazing, Space Trek. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. There you go. Nice. Yeah, surprising. There you go. Who knew? We knew because we spoke about it the other week. And what we also spoke about the other week and every week was this Free Game Friday. What's free on the Epic Game Store right now? Stay up to date with what games Epic is giving away each week. Written as always by Morgan Park and the team at PC Gamer. And Epic Game Store right now is August 4th to August 11th. Unrailed. So have you always wanted a game with a voxely Minecraft sort of vibe, but with a heavier focus on cooperatively building a railroad across endless procedural landscapes to ensure a train's continued survival? Yes. Okay,
No.
if so, that's a very specific dream. But luckily, thanks to Unrailed being free on Epic this week, it's also an incredibly achievable one. So if you want something completely different, then open up your Epic Game Store account and get this. Bosh. Unrailed. Easy peasy.
Yeah. It's probably not something that's going to be, recommended by Bib. This definitely isn't a Bibby game. I imagine you might have fun, but it's one of the weaker titles that we've got over here on Free Game Friday.
What I will say is, though, I can see a dude wearing a medieval shield and a longbow. Bibby's downloading it. Oh, Bibby. God damn. It's casting a spell and doing some witchcraft. What the fuck?
Leave me alone.
Bibby goes off to craft.
No. Bibby Craft.
So yeah, there you go. Get involved. Toot toot. So Unrailed, if you want to build a train thing across another thing, then get the thing. It's on Epic Games Store right now and will be till about 4 p.m. next Thursday, where it will be replaced by Cook, Serve, Delicious 3? Question mark? Exclamation mark? Does it not know it's a sequel? What are you? I don't get it. But there you go. I imagine if that's not Overcooked alike, I don't know what it is. Cook, Serve, Delicious 3. It's got to be. Is that undercooked? Partly cooked? Semi-cooked? I don't know. So here you go. That is the end of the show. I'll give you a little bit of a recap of what we spoke about. Logitech and Tencent are making a mobile device. It's not going to be as good as a Steam Deck. It's not going to be as basic as a Razer Kishi. It's going to be somewhere in the middle. Is it going to be enough? You tell us. So we'll tell you when we find out more, though. Sony isn't happy that Microsoft is buying Call of Duty Activision. They're not liking it at all. No. It was one of those things. It's probably, I imagine this has been clipped and cut everywhere by fanboys in the console war. PlayStation are fuming. It's not really it. They were asked, what are your thoughts? And from a legal standpoint, they said it will probably have impacts. There you go. So yeah, do you know what? If anyone does find the time this afternoon, do let me know if you see any stuff like that. Feel free to tweet us at Ice Cream Uploads, Graham Day, at We've Got Babino. Do you know what? I've got a nameplate. Boom. There you go. There's our ats as well. Feel free to tweet us there with that, because I genuinely love seeing console war shit, because it's so pathetic that it makes my day. It makes my day. So if anyone sees any, Sony is proper fuming. Look at this. They've said this, that, and the other, when they haven't. They would just ask for comment by a legal authority. Do let us know, because it'll keep me lolling. But we're going to disappear. Before we do, though, Mr. Bibb, is there anything you'd like to add?
Yes, again, thank you very much for joining us for the only 2 shows that we've got this week, but hopefully we start to resume back to, I'm saying that, I'm probably going to be ripping the studio apart next week again, so who knows? But hopefully we'll be able to get back to some normality in the coming weeks. But if you want to help shape whatever show is available next week, then there is 2 ways that you can do so. First of all, find us on social media. It is at Ice Cream Uploads across all major social media platforms, or alternatively, get involved with our Discord. If you're watching this on any of our on-demand services, then go to the description below. All the links that you require will be listed there for you, but all we need from you is URL plus your thoughts and impressions. We will then give you our thoughts and impressions on the very next show, which will be at what time? At some point next week, Mr. Graham Day.
3 p.m. probably, but 10 a.m.-ish.
Confirmed.
Just wanted to be honest with you. Give you the way it is. 10 a.m.-ish. We will be live on Monday-ish. But we are going to raid one of our friends. Stick around, don't go too far, because we always like to pass on some love. And if you stick around for the raid, not only do you get 250 extra sprinkles to spend on our channel, you can do what Timeless did. Save up 300,000 of those and apply to be a mod on the channel. He got his mod sword last week at Juju's. So you can do that, or other things too. So yeah, stick around. Not only do we get to help one of our friends, but you get some stuff for yourself. But that's it from us. Have yourselves a beautiful day, a wonderful weekend. I will see you at 10 a.m.-ish tomorrow for some PUBG. The Bibby will be potentially getting his balls out and doing some swinging for you on stream on Sunday. Potentially, I mean, don't hold us to it. Sometimes swinging pays off. Sometimes getting your balls out is a bit awkward. So we'll see how it goes. But it's golf. It's golf. I don't know what you're thinking. Fuck's sake.
Dirty.
So yeah, do feel free to join us this weekend. But have yourselves a beautiful day. And remember to
stay frosty!